Welcome to Nimbus Trails, my people, where I answer all of the questions you left me in the comments section. So let's not waste any time and get right to it. Fiona Forster asks, "Where did you go to study psychology, smiley face?" I studied psychology for 4 years at the City College of New York. I give it an 8 out of 10, escalators were a piece of shit though. For real though, you're just straight up dookie, my guy, what's going on?
I'm sorry man, I'm over 100 years old.
So I did enjoy my time at the City College of New York. People talk about America as a melting pot of cultures, but you don't really see that until you come to New York City, and you see it even more at the City College. It's also what the college uses to advertise themselves every chance they get. But the really cool part is that City College was home to a lot of the big names in the history of psychology, because it used to be free. Yeah, a free college used to actually be a thing. It's not really free anymore, but it's really affordable, which is important in a country that makes getting a higher education cost literally more than all the money Riot gets from skins.
I want my soul back, you son of a bitch.
Oh, your soul? Don't worry about that. Here, look at this skin. I love the color scheme.
Right?
Maeve asks, "Is there any skin line you would like to be created?" Beautiful transition, Maeve. Let's talk skins. So a skin line I would love that Riot has already kind of started working with would be lore-specific skins. I'm talking about like time skip skins where we would see the canonical future of champions, or skins from before the current timeline in the lore. Riot has already done this with Captain Gangplank, Captain Misfortune, etc. But how awesome would it be to play as Ascended Warrior Aatrox, King of Demacia Jarvan, Human General Callista, or pre-exile Yasuo?
I'm just kidding, right? Please don't give anyone more of an excuse to play this piece of shit. But honestly, anyone else is fine by me.
Maeve also asks, "Do you have a concept for a character you would like to be made? Like a specific archetype that was left untouched or barely touched?" Okay, so I literally make a new concept for a champion whenever I am complaining within an actual game. For example, I'll be sitting there with my friends like, "Oh, come on, I want my Duskblade already, but I don't got enough gold." Guys, what about a champion that gives people gold?
That's too busted.
That ultimate is just broken, my guy. If everybody had an ult like that, Guys, what about a champion that can use other people's ultimates?
That's too busted.
Guys, what about...
That's too busted.
Die.
Okay, but for a while now, I've been wanting Riot to design more melee champions. And I'm not talking about the League of Legends definition of melee champion that just means anyone that swings something at you. No, I'm talking about melee fighters. Fighters that get up close and personal with nothing more than their fists. Like seriously, how many champions can you count that don't use a gun, bow, magic, or sharp pointy object? Go ahead, count.
Well, there's a Lee Sin, a Vi, Warwick.
Claws don't count.
Tom Kench uses his tongue to...
That's not melee! You see what I'm talking about? I'm looking for some champions that make their bodies into lethal weapons. How about some monks, boxers, grapplers, just something that isn't another person with a sharp thingy? How about a boxing champion whose ultimate is a barrage of punches? Or how about a champion that like break dances on the floor, damaging people with their legs as they spin in an AoE circle? Cammy was pretty cool, but she's got blades for legs, so that don't count. I want an actual fighter in this game. You know, so Lee Sin can have a buddy, and there can be fan art of them doing flips and shit. That'd be nice. Fluffy Toast asks, "What do you think is the strongest character design and concept, and which one do you think is the weakest? Like, as in execution of the concept?" For the sake of time, I'm going to tell you to check out my #1 League Sember video, which addresses who I think is the strongest in design and concept. But I will answer who I think is the weakest, and it's Taliyah.
What? Why me?
Don't get me wrong, sweetheart. I love you, Taliyah.
Aww.
You're fucking adorable, you got a heart of gold, you rockin' them eyebrows. Finally, a champion with thick eyebrows that I can relate to. But what the f***, Taliyah?
What?
What the f*** is this? You mean to tell me you can make a mountain out of the earth, but in game all you can do is this?
I'm just waiting for my anime comeback moment. Yeah, that's it.
Girl! If I had to improve on a character, it would be Taliyah. Her kit isn't bad and it does reward a skilled player, but thematically it's so underwhelming. When I think of an earthbender, forgive me, I mean, stone mage. So when I think of an earthbender, I'm thinking of tearing the ground, raising mountains, chucking boulders at people. And yeah, she technically does that, but it's really underwhelming. You can't really feel the weight or power behind her moves. And I already know it's not fair to compare the two, but I can't help but think of Avatar: The Last Airbender and how amazing they portrayed the power. Watching the movements, hearing the sounds of the earth being torn apart, seeing the exhaustion of the characters, it all really conveyed how strenuous and powerful this all was. Maybe it's too much to ask of Riot to do something similar. This is a game that we spend most of our time looking at our characters from a bird's eye view. But you've taken a lot of money from me over the years, so no mercy. I'm not sure how I would change it other than giving her a completely different kit that aesthetically looks powerful. Because even though she can be really powerful, it just doesn't really look or feel it for someone who can literally move the earth around her. Alpha Squad Leader B asks, "Hey man, do you think Syndra needs some reworking? She could at least have a visual upgrade. But Riot better be careful on those thighs. Thick thighs saves lives. Embrace the thighs. The thighs give life." But if you really want my opinion, I don't really think she needs a rework. I don't really play her all that often, but in my limited experience, I haven't seen her as someone so incredibly weak or out of touch with the meta that they need to overhaul her completely. But going back to the thighs, if they give her a visual upgrade, then she better be looking like the next Chun-Li, cause goddamn girl. Shit. Ah shit. And last but not least, True Hero 126 asks, "What would be the most interesting experience that you would want to see your favorite character from Avatar face?" I loved that video. Thanks for that one, Hero. She's referring to my Avatar: The Last Airbender video that was up for literally 3 days before I had to take it down. But that's a difficult one to answer, because Zuko has such a complete character arc that I can't think of anything I would like to see him tackle. Spoiler alert for Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would say that I would want to see how he tackles being the new Fire Lord, and essentially changing the world's perspective on the Fire Nation as a new leader that will guide it to an era of peace. He'd essentially have to undo a culture that has been engrossed in 100 years of war. But this was sorta already addressed in the comics. But I haven't read the comics yet, so this technically counts as an answer. I was really blown away by how many of you participated. I'm genuinely happy about it. Surprisingly, my responses to these questions were way too long, so I decided to cut some questions out and leave them for the next video, cause I definitely want to do this again. Making this type of video is a pretty nice breath of fresh air, so let's make this into a series of its own. I already called it Nimbus Trails, so it's already got a title. I'm thinking what we can do is leave this type of video to Q&As, so whatever I draw and act out is really dependent on the questions you ask me, which is completely fine by me. It definitely helps me with trying to figure out what the hell to write about. So again, leave me some more questions down in the comments. Same rules apply, and also, feel free to ask me things that are not related to League of Legends. It's not that I don't appreciate those questions, I just want you guys to know that you're not limited here. And as always, my people, thank you for watching.